even if you do not get it, right? These classes are recorded and they are going to be shared. The videos are going to be shared on YouTube where you can have access to them, right? So you can always download them. You can always watch them on YouTube. Anytime you feel that you need to, you miss something somewhere. So, and of course, I'm always available for questions if you have questions, right? So my WhatsApp is back on. You can reach me on WhatsApp. You can reach me on Telegram. You can reach me on Twitter. You can even reach me via call. Biola, you want to say something?
Oh, no.
On YouTube, is it available for everyone, or is it just us?
Yes. At the moment, just for the class, just for the, it's usually private. It's my videos at the moment. If I upload, it's going to be private. So it's just going to be for people that I give access to. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So please just follow through. These technologies are simple, yes. Complex somehow, yes, but they are simple. All right. Several millions of people in the world can use this technology. So if those people can use it, you as well can use it. Now, the goal of this training is to improve your analysis skills, is to improve your analysis skills and make you job ready or make you opportunity ready. Right. So please take every step that I take. If I ask you to do something, please do this. You'll get assignments. At the end of this, you do a project on both technologies. And at the end of it as well, I have an extra bit that I'm going to drop for us, which is GitHub. GitHub is a technology that we use for collaboration, right? We'll talk about GitHub much later, right? So please, I want everybody to pay attention, right? The classes will be between 2 hours and 2.5 hours. I know that it's late in the night and a whole lot of us have responsibilities to take care of. So I will try as much as possible not to take our time and deliver value in that space of time, right? If you have questions, please make use of the chat box or just unmute yourself. Just raise up your hand. Use the hand function on the group to raise up your hand so that I can call you to ask the questions. How many of us, I think that's all that I have for housekeeping. Yes, if your network is bad, please try and position yourself well, position your network well, right, so that you don't miss any part of the class. Please do not come late to the class so that we don't have to do a recap all the time. And I think that's all. If there's any other thing that I need to let you know, I would inform you as we proceed. All right, I will inform you as we proceed. All right, how many of us were able to do the installation? How many of us were able to do the installation? How many of us were able to do the installation? If you were able to do the installation, just raise up your hand. Awesome. Awesome. I have 3 people already. Awesome. 4. Awesome. Awesome. All right. That's 5, 6. Wow. That's good. That's good. 7. Awesome. Awesome. All right. I think the only person who I'm not seeing a hand raised is someone who just joined some few minutes before, decided to join us some few minutes before we started class. So, and I'm sure that we will get her ready very soon. Get her ready very soon. Awesome. 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 All right. I want you to do something for me quickly. For those of us that are in class, please drop a message on the group that we have started and class has started. Right. Sorry, I'm trying to attend to people who are finding it difficult to join. Okay. Awesome. If you can put on your video, please do, so that we can take a group picture as well for, for posterity's sake that you came to class. All right. I'm going to start from, like I said, today is going to be an introduction class, so I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm going to introduce you to the 2 platforms that we're going to be using. Right, but you know that in my class, I hope you can see my, okay, I've not shared my screen. Let me share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, please? Let me know if you can see my screen. There's a chat function on this. All right, good. Awesome. All right. I'm seeing. Right, so you can see my screen. Just let me know. So awesome. 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 All right. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Right. This is the interface that we should have. Interface. I'm going to see as we proceed, so don't worry. Right. We should have. All right. This is the interface that we should have. I hope you can still hear me. This is the interface that the MySQL interface. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
All
I
right.
can.
So
Yes.
this is the awesome. Thank you. All right. So this is the interface that we'll be working with. Right now, SQL is called structured query language. Right. I'm going to start with my slides tomorrow. Right. I just want to talk from my heart this evening so that we can stop in maybe 1 hour's time, and then if you just reach out to me so that we can solve that issue. Right. So I'm just going to talk from my experience. Maybe run a few code, see, right, and we'll right. So when we talk about technology, right, I wrote an article some time ago about. I'm not sure. I'm just dropping it on the group. Right, for those who have not read, the article is about why. Iceman. All right. Please let me mute your mics. Just raise up your hands and I'll give you the. So I wrote that article and explained why MySQL is important, right? Why MySQL is why SQL is an important skill, right? And in that I mentioned that SQL is an old language, right? And that it is an entry skill for data analysis, right? And of course, it is not just a wild or a broad application, right? I linked SQL as a database administrator, as an Oracle database administrator, right? And for a database administrator, SQL is everything, right? SQL is everything because you not only analyze data, right? You're able to do like managing the database, like backup and requirement, so on and so forth with SQL, right? But fast forward to this present time, of course, a few has gained a whole lot of grounds in, right? And the role that SQL plays in analysis is that organizations store their data in databases. Data in databases, right? And we have several variants of database. Tomorrow we'll talk about what a database is, right? So organizations store their database, their data in databases, right? So you have non-relational database, right? For those who have done statistics with me or heard me talk about data, data exists in two forms, right? We have the structured and unstructured data, right? So you see that we have more structured data are data that have a whole lot of varieties. We basically call them big data, right? These data are data that have a whole lot of varieties. They come at you at a high speed, and they have a diversity to them, right? This class is not a big data class, right? But just follow my thought process, like I said, right? So we have a whole lot of that now. Those kind of data, right? We talk about big data now. These data come from your Facebook, Twitter post, right? Data from sensors of cars, from drilling machinery of oil rigs, from airplanes, from the stock market, from basically everything that we do nowadays, from your wristwatch, from your smart wristwatches, from your smart shoes, from your smartphones, and all of these devices, right? But what you discover is that organizations still has what we call the traditional relational database, which are structured data. So basically, what is structured data? Data that are structured are basically data that can be stored in rows and columns, right? That's why the word relational, right, is what we use, right? So I tell my students that the word relational or the word relations also means table. I'm sure you've heard that from me before, right? So the word relation means tables, right? And tables are designed to be in what? In rows and columns, right? So if you look at softwares or tools like Excel, right, they follow that pattern. They follow the relational pattern. Power BI, right? They follow the relational pattern. Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL, PostgreSQL, right? SQLite, and the likes, right? IBM Informix, all of those guys, right? They follow the same relational pattern. So organizations still use what? Database. So database basically, right, is that logical space where we put our data, right? Now, the data in a database can be raw data, it can be processed data, right? But just know that as we work with data, mention generates data, right? Stores data in databases, right? So some organizations actually use Excel as their database, right? The amount of data, right? But in terms of security, in terms of query, in terms of management, in terms of retrieval speed, in terms of logical partitioning, DBMS is tomorrow, right? But what does database means to analysts? What does database or SQL, right? Let's start from database and we'll move into SQL. What does database mean to analysts? Basically, what it means is that your data to be working with, data that you're going to be applying to be able to attend to a particular business case that you want to formation.
Mr. Shem, we can't hear you.
Yes, I was even thinking it's only from my
Yes.
end.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
How long?
For about 3 minutes, sir.
It has been breaking on and off.
Exactly.
Just breaking. It's still not working.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, now.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Yes.
All right. All right. I think one of my extensions there is not working. Okay. Thank you. All right. So since you can hear me now, I can continue. So what was the last thing we heard, please? If you can hear me, what
From
was the last thing we
database,
heard?
let's say from database. What it means for
Okay.
data analysts.
All right. Awesome. Right. So basically, I was saying that database is essential to data analysis, right? And why it is essential to data analysis because data analysts fetch the query or the data to what to answer business cases from the database, right? So take for example, you want to analyze sales data for an organization. These sales data are always what are usually stored in a database, right? For most organizations, right? They can whatever database it is, right? So you'll be able to write, you should be able to write SQL statements, right? SQL statements that would connect and fetch data from the database. And such data you can take to any analytical tool or analysis tool that you want to use to analyze them. Are you following? Right? So in some organizations, it is the job of a data analyst, right, to fetch data from the database. Now, it depends on how large the organization is. Some organizations are very large and they have a whole lot of people, right, that they have a data query team or they have a data engineering team, right, which you just send your request to say that, guys, I need this data for my analysis, and they fetch you data, right? But you discover that most of the time, as a data analyst, you need to be able to write complex SQL statements, right, that can connect directly into the database to fetch data that you want to use to answer your business case. At the end of the day, that is the reason why you need to learn SQL. Of course, SQL can do a bit of analysis, right? Here and there analysis. But in terms of integral analytical processing, right? SQL is not very, very analytical, right? SQL is not very analytical, right? That is why we now leverage on tools like Power BI, we leverage on tools like R and Python, we leverage on tools like Microsoft Excel, MATLAB, SPSS, machine learning, and the likes to see in-depth analysis in this data. These things, right? Excel, Power BI, SQL would not be able, right? But it has the capacity to do a few analyses, right? You can do some aggregated functions, you can do some Windows functions on it, and so on and so on and so forth, right? Of course, a few technologies like Microsoft, right, allows you to be able to do some visualizations with SQL, but it is not as robust as what you have in Power BI, the likes, right? So, in a nutshell, what is the role of SQL to a data analyst? It is the language that we use to connect to the database, to fetch data out of the database, for us to be able to answer what business questions. It's as simple as that. That is the role that SQL plays as well as for data analysts, right? And that's why it is an essential skill, right? It's an essential skill because it also introduces you to the idea of how data modeling works. It introduces you to the idea of how organizations keep data, how data is generated, how ER diagrams are created, and how data relate with each other, right? How data relates to each other. So from SQL, you understand all of that, and that knowledge you can carry to every other technology that you want to use or every other tools and techniques that you want to use. So it forms basically, it gives us the basic or the solid foundation about data. Hence the reason why we say that it is the first skill or one of the four skills that you need to learn. And if you look at it, I think I've showed us before, right? Let me see if I can find those images again. I've showed us before that SQL is a very, very important skills, right? If you look at, hold on, just give me a minute. If you look at images, right? I think I showed us about 2-3 images. Okay, look at this now. Right, look at it, right? So SQL is part of the can see the skills that the hard skills that is needed for by a data analyst, right? So SQL is what is a major part of that, right? You see Power BI also a major part of that, right? Of course, statistics is a major what's the major knowledge here. Excel, Python, Tableau, and the likes, right? But in terms of popularity, right? In terms of popularity, SQL is on par with almost every other skill that is available, right? R and Python are up there as the skills that is really, really needed for analysis, right? But the truth is, SQL is as important as R or Python. Because if you do not have SQL, if you cannot fetch your data from the database through SQL, right, what would you use R or Python to analyze, right? So amongst database, amongst data analysts, right, SQL is a very, very important skill. In fact, it is as important, like I said, as what? As Python or R. So it is very essential. There is no data analysis without SQL. Are you following me? Right? You can actually do data analysis without having to learn Python or having to learn R. But there is no way you want to do analysis or say you're a data analyst without learning SQL. Right? So you see a whole lot of programs out there. You see a whole lot of technologies, a whole lot of material out there that talks about SQL. It tells you how important SQL is. And presently, SQL is on the, it's like I said, it's a language, it's a programming language. SQL is on, I think, the 16th dialect, right? The 16th dialect, 2016 dialect. And yes, SQL is being improved on every day. So in this class, we would learn SQL. We will learn SQL and we'll be able to use SQL at the end of this program, right? So this is the interface, right? Like every other technology, right? Like every other technology, right? Mine might be a bit different because I use a Mac, right? But of course, it's the same interface that you. Yes.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, I can't see your screen. I'm only seeing your Teams software. I can't see your screen.
Yes, we should go on.
Okay, let me see.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now? Please confirm to me if we can all see my screen.
Yes, sir. I can see your screen.
Yes, sir, we can.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So SQL, my SQL is, this is my SQL, right? And my SQL is, like I said, it's not the only database that's available, right? Tomorrow I'll give you a list of
Sorry, I can't see your screen.
So, I cannot see the.
Sir, yeah, I
Yes,
think you're
my
not
SQL is
sharing.
this is
Yes.
team. What we are seeing here is team.
Exactly.
You
You're not
share the Microsoft
sharing.
Teams like that. That was a share.
Exactly.
what can you see?
We can see your Microsoft Teams, but we can't see your SQL.
How? Why? Let me see again. I'm sharing my entire screen. So what's happening? What can you see now?
Your Microsoft Teams.
You can see Microsoft Teams, right?
Microsoft Teams,
Yes.
How about now?
Still Microsoft Teams.
Why is it not presenting? Just give me a minute. Why are you not speaking? Can you see my screen now?
You cannot. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You can see my Outlook, right?
Yes, sir.
So why is Microsoft? Can you see my workbench? My SQL workbench.
No, we can't.
You can't.
But you are seeing your mouse. You say the way you move your mouse, we see it.
But you can't see what is moving.
Not really. There's Outlook.
Okay.
There is favorite inbox, sent items, something like that. There's send email.
So you can't see my Microsoft. Can you see my Microsoft bench workbench now?
No.
We are seeing a
Can you see?
blank white something.
Somebody should snap what you've seen to me and send it to me on WhatsApp, please.
Okay.
But yes, thank you. Because
I think it's not even showing anything again. It's just showing black and white.
black and white, how?
Before it was still showing something, but now it's just blank.
Away. All right.
I've sent it to you. Okay.
You sent it to me, Abby?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. So the same thing everybody's seeing, right?
No,
Away.
it's the same thing we are seeing. Sir.
What's that?
Okay.
Why is it not presenting my Microsoft? Hold on. Let me just close the interface again and open it, please. Can you see my Excel interface?
No.
No.
Yes. We are not seeing anything. It's a blank.
Nothing is checked. It's just blank.
That's serious. Were you seeing my what's it called? Did you see did you at any point saw my interface before my SQL interface?
Nothing is moving. Sir.
No, sir.
Okay, let's. It's still not
Any improvement?
Still the same.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. All right. I'm just stay in class. Let me log out and I will log in again. Then we'll look at it from there. Please, I apologize. I don't know what's happening. Let me just log out of the class and I'll log in again. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can, sir.
You can hear me clearly, right?
Yes, we can.
Yes, it can.
Awesome. All right, so let's deal with the issue of can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen now?
It's still
Still
showing
Microsoft Teams.
You can see Microsoft Teams.
Yes, sir.
You can see everything on the Microsoft Teams, right?
I
Yes.
can't see anything. Report,
Hey,
attendance report.
you can see attendance reports.
Yeah.
You can see meeting in general, right?
Yes.
Yes, we can see all those
Yeah.
ones.
Yes.
You can see that I'm scrolling up and scrolling down.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So now can you see Excel?
No.
No. Have you opened it, sir?
No.
Wait. All right. Okay. Don't worry. I guess something is wrong somewhere. Because if you can see I don't know why it's not picking what is on top of the overlay. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Figure it out. All right. Don't let us allow that to deter us this night. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see something. One minute, please. This is the name of the class. Right, let's- All right. Let's give it time. Just confirm to me when you can see. I'll continue, right? I'll continue. But just confirm to me when you can see my workbench. All right? Just confirm to me if and when you see my workbench. I hope you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can, sir.
Yes, we can.
All right. All right. So what was the last thing I said that before we had the issues with presentation? I don't know what is happening, but I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I've had a class today already, and we're able to see my screen. I don't know what happened. Right. So we'll figure it out. Don't worry. So what was the last thing you heard me say that wasn't about presenting?
Role of SQL. Like,
All right. So who can tell me what you think or what you understand by the role of SQL now as a data analyst? I need somebody to just do a recap of what I said. Just need somebody to do a recap of what I said before I proceed into explaining what Power BI is about and all that. Anybody? Anybody? We have 13 participants, so I need people to give me to respond.
You said it is a language used to fetch out data from our database, something like that, sir.
yeah, like it's the language that helps to fetch information from the database and generate
Awesome.
analysis.
Awesome. Is that the only thing I said?
That's where we stopped before.
All right. So SQL is important, right? So starting from tomorrow, we'll move right into SQL. I'll try and figure out why my screen, because screen sharing is very important for you to be able to see my screen. Now let's talk about Power BI. Right? Yeah, I know that a whole lot of us here are familiar or some way have an idea of what Excel is about. Right? We have an idea of what Excel is about. So question is, what is Power BI? right? What is Power BI and why is Power BI important, right? I think to my class at NIT, I showed them one time a video of a guy who is a Power BI developer, right? And basically, what does it mean to say you're a Power BI user or a Power BI developer, right? Now, in the course of in the value chain of data analysis, right? There are several skills that comes in between, right? So you have people let me say this way, in a proper organization, right? In a proper organization, I do not think that it's the same person who cleans the data that is supposed to, or who fetches the data from the database that is supposed to clean the data, right? Or is the same person who cleans the data or who cleanses the data that is supposed to analyze data and visualize data, right? Of course, right? In some organizations, what you discover is that this work has been decentralized. Some people just fetch the data. Some people just cleanse the data. Some people's job is to run some analysis on the data, while some people's job is to visualize the data, right? So you hear people talk about that I'm a data engineer, right? The essence of a data engineer, or what a data engineer does, is to take data and wrangle the data, make sure that the data is ready for analysis. So they take the data, a raw data or messy data, they make it ready for analysis, put it in a data lake or in a data warehouse system where the data analyst can easily fetch this data for analysis, right? But after that, right, who makes this data, right, that has been analyzed and processed and analyzed? Who tells a story with it? Who takes all these insights and puts them in a colorful pictorial form that makes it interesting and easy for anyone who sees it to understand it, such that they get a lasting impression from this data? Ladies and gentlemen, that person is the data visualization guy or the data visualizer, right? And the skill that comes with that is, or the technology that is most popular in that field, is the Power BI, Microsoft Power BI technology. Of course, we have several other ones. We have Tableau, we have Looker, we have Quilik, and the likes, right? In programming, right? In Python, you have Seaborn, you have Matplotlib, and the likes. In R, we have Shiny, we have ggplot2, and the likes, right? That helps you with visualization. But in the old sense of it, right, Power BI is the king of visualization, right? And what does it mean? When you want to tell a story about a data, when you have analyzed your data and you want to tell about the insights that you get from the data, right? I remember that in NIT, I've mentioned to some of us before, right? Or let me just say this, right? The best way to present your data is through pictorial forms, right? Is to be able to present the data in a visual way, right? And the reason is because visuals or images, right, leave a lasting impression in our minds rather than text or numbers. If I tell you that we have 13 people in class at the moment, and that we have 7 of them are males and 6 of them are females, right? It is data, right? But you might not understand it very well until when you see a chart that shows you a bar, or that shows you these two cardinality, or these two classes of my data, the male and female, and tells me a frequency table, or I show you a frequency table, right, or a chart or a pie chart or something that shows the proportion of these two classes in the population. The essence of visualizing is to be able to tell a story about data such that at the highest level of decision making, at the highest level of analysis, are the decision makers, and they are the ones who consumes your report, your dashboard, right? You are able to show to them that from this data that is about 1 million rows and over 50 variables or columns, I have been able to show, or I've been able to get the insight that this chart and this chart and this chart and this style, right, explains the reason why this is happening to the business, and this is what we need to do, and this is what the recommendations are. Visualization is very important. It helps us tell a story, or helps us tell story about the data, right? It helps us tell stories about the data, right? That is the reason why it is very important. That's the reason why it's very important. So there is no analysis, right, that without what? Visualization. So you discover that every tool that we use to analyze data has some form of visualizations in them. Even SQL. SQL, I know that Microsoft SQL has added Microsoft services, Microsoft Internet Services, some services that allows you to be able to draw a chart directly from an SQL report or from an SQL, right? So every form of analysis, every form of tool, that we use for analysis has in one way or the other incorporated visualization. But Power BI, Tableau, of course, the two market leader, right, are the technologies that have that have made visualization their major skill, or their major functionality, right? So that's why it is important, right? And in Power BI, what you will be learning is how to connect your data to Power BI, how to shape your data. Now, this is very important. If you look at job descriptions, right, there's something you see there that people usually do not understand. It's called extract, transform, load, ETL, right? ETL. Tomorrow, I'll be able to use my board and all of that so that I can write and you can see all that I'm talking about, right? ETL, extract, transform, load, right? When you take data, most of the time, it is not all that is in the data that you want to use for your analysis. Sometimes, when you see data, you have to be able to combine two or more columns to give a column or a variable that you want to use your analysis. Sometimes you want to break down a single column as much as you are bringing two or more columns together, either through an arithmetic operator or through a logical operator or through whatever operator you are bringing them together to make a new column, right? We also can break down a single column into what? Into multiple columns for analysis, right? Those way, or what we are doing basically, or we're even transforming a value from a numeric value to a character value, or from a character value to a numeric value, just changing the form of data, right? We do that. Power BI is one of the things that does that very well, right? So you connect your data into the database. You're able to extract and to transform the data using Power Query, right? Power Query, we'll discuss Power Query in Power BI. Power Query is also present in Excel, right? Because Excel and Power BI shares the same engine, right? They share the same engine, which means that they have almost the same functionality, except that one is more of a spreadsheet and an analytical tool, and one is more of a visualization tool, right? Of course, it can do a few analysis, right? But majorly, it is a visualization tool, right? So Power BI is very important because at the end of the day, when you have reported, so you have done your analysis, you want to generate your report. You cannot send that tabular report or prose report to what? To the decision makers. Basically, what they just want to see is a summary of the data in a form of picture. Remember that statistics is the skill to summarize data. When we take data and we apply statistical principles and techniques and tools on them, right, they give us insights. These insights, we now tell a story with these insights. With these insights, we do a visualization, right? We do a chart or graphs. Basically, that's what we call visualizations, right? Charts, graphs, measures, and the likes, right? Cards and the likes, right? That can help us tell a story, basically. And that's what Power BI does. But Power BI also does one thing very, very well, which is data modeling. Data modeling. And we would learn how to do data modeling as well in Power BI, right? Power BI data modeling is, of course, would learn data modeling as well from SQL. It is how we generate the relationship between multiple tables. I hope you can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I've been talking for a while now. Please let me know if you can hear me. Questions, please ask your questions. Like I said, today is just an introduction class. So please let me know if you can hear me.
We can hear you. Okay.
Awesome. I need confirmation from everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me. Just
Yes,
raise
we
up.
can, sir.
Just use the.
We can.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm waiting for confirmations from some people so that nobody's lost. Nobody's lost. Nobody's lost. Nobody's lost. Waiting for confirmations from some people. Can you see my SQL now? Can you see my web browser?
No, no.
No.
No. No.
No, we can't.
Hey. What is now presenting? Microsoft is just very full of themselves. They're just presenting their own screen alone. They're not presenting what I want them to show. I will catch them. All right. Queen, Madam Angela, Mama, Biola, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
who
you.
is there
We can
again?
hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, Madam Odwak, can you hear
I
me?
can hear you. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, I
Awesome.
can hear you.
Awesome. All right. So that's basically what we'll do with Power BI, right? Power BI is very interesting, right? There are people whose job their only job is to what? Is to do visualization. So there are several job opportunities, right? And like I said, these skills that you're learning, of course, I don't teach people to do skills in Nigeria, or to use skills in Nigeria, right? There are several skills there are several opportunities that these skills afford you, right? You can work remotely, you can work as a freelancer, you can work with any organization as a data analyst. Now, remember, as long as data exists, there will always be jobs. As long as data exists, of course, we're in the fourth industrial revolution, right? We're in the fourth industrial revolution, and this industrial revolution basically is the industrial revolution where automations is priority, where data is the new oil, where everything runs through data, where everything diverges data, where everything consumes data, right? So as long as data is an integral part of life, as long as data is an integral part of businesses, right, there would be reason and need for analysts, right? And of course, you know that analysis, right, goes from you answering daily business questions that helps an organization move from point A to point B on their organizational goal, to you asking open-ended questions from data using program languages and more advanced algorithms, right, like machine learning and deep learning, to be able to see, right, things that, or insights that are hidden in data, patterns that cannot be easily seen by some or the general statistical tools and techniques that we have, or mathematical tools and techniques that we have as well, right? So data analysis is a long shot, right? It is a career, it's a growing career, it is still growing, and it will continue to grow. So you are in a league of you are in a league of skills, or in a league of you're in a community where the opportunity are endless, right? I know people who work as analysts from home, right? All they just do is wake up in the morning, right? Connect to their organizational server, and look at what has been dropped on Slack for them as the business of the day, or the business cases to attend for the day. And they get business cases in their emails, and they connect to the server to fetch data, and they look at it, and they try to make sense out of the business case and out of the data, and generate reports. So sometimes all they just get is, hey, Oluwaseun, generate me a report of the number of sales that we made from so date to so date, and give me a visual of it. And okay, oh, please let me compare the performance of this department as for this year to this year, and as of this year to this year. So basically, those are the kinds of things that they do. So they fetch data, they transform the data, They analyze the data using statistical techniques and mathematical techniques. They analyze the data and they visualize the data. So if you look at it, actually, if you look at it, which is what I just saw by myself now, if you look at it, in the beginning of it, you have SQL. At the end of it, you have PowerBI. You see? Alpha and Omega. Right? In the beginning of it, you have SQL. At the end of it, you have PowerBI. Right? So you start with SQL, you end with PowerBI. A whole lot of in-betweens are there, right? The in-betweens, Excel comes into play. In the in-betweens, you have R or Python or Julia. In the in-betweens, basically, in the in-betweens, what you have is just statistics. The tools that I just mentioned are just to help you do statistics. But in the beginning, you have SQL to fetch the data from the database and to what? Maybe process and do some analysis with it. And in the end, what do we have? We have Power BI as the tools to visualize this. So basically, that is what we have, right? So please and please be open-minded, be open-minded. Now, I am not an authority in this, right? I know it, but of course, I'm not an authority. I'm not the one who created Power BI and Tableau, right? So please and please be encouraged to do your own research as well, right? I would give you everything that I know, right? I'll put together a proper curriculum for this. I'll give you everything that I know that would help you job ready, right? Such that if you finish on a Sunday, on a Saturday, and you get a job offer on a Monday, you would be good to go, right? And that's the reason at the end of the day, we're going to be doing a project on SQL, and you're going to be doing a project on Power BI. Now, one thing I want to say is, please do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. I know that a whole lot of people, I know it, and I'm beginning to see it in a whole lot of people that people are scared, right? Please don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid. Yes, you would have to rewatch videos. You would have to ask me questions. Our journeys are not the same. We don't assimilate things at the same level. And I'm available. I'm not the video. I'm available, right? So please and please don't be afraid. Take it one step at a time. You don't compare yourself to somebody who's moving at a very fast pace. Just take it as one step at a time. If you do not understand, please reach out to me or please refer to the videos. The videos, usually I do not edit my videos, but this time around, I want to make them beautiful and make them awesome. So it might take a day or two before. Usually I just upload instantly once I'm done, but it might take a day or two for you to get it. But if you need the video, just send me a request. Even if I've not uploaded on YouTube, I can easily share a link with you that you can quickly access them. Right. So starting from tomorrow, right, we would start with SQL. So I want us to write some of these things down that I want to say. My writing part is not ready yet. I don't know. Let me see. If I share now, I hope you can. Okay, let's do another share. This is. Can you say whiteboard? Please let me know if you can say whiteboard.
Yes.
It's in progress.
Yeah. Whiteboard in progress.
Something is wrong with Microsoft. You can see whiteboard. You can see
Whiteboard in progress.
Whiteboard is
That's
loading,
what is
Abby.
written. Yeah, yes.
You can see SQL, right? That I'm writing.
No, sir.
Yes, we can. You can see it on the whiteboard.
You can see SQL in black, Abby, that I wrote.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, wait.
No,
But you cannot.
I can't see anything. No.
I can't see anything though.
I can't see anything yet.
Listen,
Oh,
it's whiteboard in progress. Whiteboard in progress.
SQ on it.
No, I wrote SQL. Can you see? I wrote SQL now, not the one that is on it. I wrote SQL. I'm even circling it now. Right? Can you see?
Exactly. Yes.
I can't
Mama
see
can
anything.
see it now.
I can't see anything.
Hold on.
I can't see anything.
Hold
I'm
on,
not
people. Hold on.
using my laptop, unfortunately. I'm using my phone, so maybe that is why.
I can see it, sir.
Okay,
Thank you
so
very
hold
much.
on, people. Yeah,
I
Ebuka, you
can't
can
see.
see SQL that I wrote.
Yeah, I think there's something that's covering it. Maybe you guys should cancel it. There's something that's covering the SQL there. But it's there.
Ah,
Also,
like what?
Something is covering.
What I'm seeing as whiteboarding in progress. For now, only members of this
Yeah, that's what
Ebuka,
I'm
you
saying.
can
Oh.
see.
can participate.
Ebuka, hold on, people. Ebuka, you can see that I just moved the SQL, right?
Moved. No, but I can see that it's circled. Can you do something
You
again?
can
Let
see
me
that it's
see. Okay, yes, I can see it. I can see you moved it.
you can see. Mama, can you see that I moved it?
Ebuka, are you
Yes.
using phone too?
I can't see it. Oh.
Yes.
You're using phone. No wonder. Okay. Maybe we should all use our phones then.
Hold on. Don't use phone yet.
Just
Don't use phone yet. Hold on. Don't use phone yet. Ebuka, can you see my SQL now?
No, so I'm trying to get back to.
I can't see it. Oh. What I'm
Just
seeing
hold
is
on. Hold on. Just
whiteboarding in progress.
don't worry.
like
Whiteboard in progress.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Ebuka, can you see my MySQL workbench? Queen, what can you see?
I
What
can
happened?
see
Why you?
general meeting in general. Attendance report.
All right. This is,
They are moving the.
so you can see that I'm moving it, but you can't see.
Yeah,
All right.
I can see.
All right. That's fine.
okay, we
Wow.
can see it now.
The thing just came up.
came on and it went
What?
off.
What came up?
The SQL
The
Hey,
SQL,
yes,
the one you
yes,
cycle.
Let's come up
Wait.
and set up again.
Ó lágbára o.
Ẹ tẹ̀sẹ̀ ló bọ̀.
Let this thing take the time. Oh.
All right, let's try it again. Let's go there again. Can you see it now?
No,
That is the whiteboard.
I can
No.
see, sir.
Just whiteboarding in progress.
Ebuka, you can see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Ebuka, is it phone you are using?
Yeah, I'm using a tablet.
Okay. Ebuka, are you logged into your Microsoft Teams?
Yes, I am. Yes.
You are logged in, Abby.
Yes.
Okay. Who else is logged in? But I can see you as a guest here. Who else is logged in?
Me too.
How can we log in? I'm a guest too, so
Don't worry.
No, there was a
Everybody's
time.
a guest.
There was a time
okay.
we were knocked off, so I have to log in again, as in join.
Don't worry. Right.
Almost everybody.
Some
Why is
people are
everybody logging out and logging in again? People are logging out and logging in again.
No. That time we just.
Ismaila, why are you writing on my screen?
Hey!
Are you serious?
Mr. Shun,
Yes.
Shun, I tried downloading the app now on my phone and it's working. I can see the SQL on my phone. So I logged in my phone so I can see the SQL.
That's why you're writing on my screen.
Did I write?
So it's me.
Okay, Ebuka, you're the one writing on my screen.
Yes, sir.
So I logged in on my system and my phone now, so I can see it from my phone.
You can see it on your phone, but you can't see it on your system.
Yes, I can see it on my system.
That's a lot. Wait, are you using the app on your system as well?
Yes, I'm using the app.
Who is connecting from the web browser? Hold on, let me just let me stop this recording.
Okay. What can you see, Ismail?